Might be a new bun in the oven. That oven! I think that my girl, she might be a little pregos. So we got Lulu and Luca. We're doing life update here. Y'all can ask questions if you want. So you guys are joining the chat. I can't remember if I put it on public. Oh, I did. Good. That's good. Lulu, come here, baby. Come here, Lulu. Come. So, Lulu, doing a life update here. Lulu was a feral donkey when I got her. That means that she's wild. And Luca is the little Appaloosa pony over there with his wiener out. And that's what's getting us in trouble, huh? That little wiener you have. So there's Luca with his wiener hanging out. And Luca has some stuff on his forehead because he needs to grow hair back. He keeps bumping his head and messing up his forehead. So Lulu, I got both of these two by the border of Mexico. And originally I wanted a donkey for Thunder because not the last place here, but thank you, Jennifer. Not the last place that I stayed at. Thunder was alone, so I thought, I'll just get him a donkey because he had befriended a donkey at the last place. And so I go and I get there, and so there she was. There was Lulu. And then I saw this little guy, and I was like, oh my God, I have to rescue him because he was developing a bone disease called navicular. His bones were turning because the owner did not clip his feet. And their hooves have to be constantly manicured or else they'll grow into these rocking chair things, and so his bones started turning. And he had one eye. Luca. Hi, baby. So you can see Luca has one eye. He was very mishandled. And I got him at 7 months old. So this is Luca. He's such a pretty little Appaloosa. He's polka dotted, as you guys can see. And so you can't cut the nuts off of a pony that don't exist because he was too young. You have to wait for the nuts to drop. Well, I think I missed that window. So I think my girl is pregos. And so when you mix a mini horse and a mini donkey, she's actually bigger than a mini donkey, but both her parents are minis and both of her parents are paints. So I think I might be having a mule. So a donkey and a horse makes a mule. So I think she's pregos. See how wide she's looking? She's looking a little wide. I was like, my girl's looking a little thick. So she's still a little afraid. I've had to work really hard to get her, I know, she might be pregnant. My mom was like, Stephanie, do you need any more? And I'm like, I can't help it if his little wiener got into her and made her pregnant. So I've been checking to see if his balls have dropped. His balls hadn't dropped, and I think they dropped and got her pregnant. He's been trying to hump her from day one. Huh? You little pony. Huh? He's like Jaws. He's a little shark. You go, little pony. You're such a good little pony. And he'll try to bite my shoe. Look at this. Look at him. Oops, sorry guys. So that's the pregos. I think I might be having a baby in Lulu. My mom was like, why, Stephanie? Why? And I'm like, I can't do anything about it. Okay? His balls, you can't cut off balls that don't exist. Now they exist. And that little wiener, I think, went in her. So I think we're going to have a baby. Not my ass. Not me. But Lulu. And that's the daddy. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, I think I'll sit down and take in some questions if you guys have any questions. We can talk about fertility on this diet. We can talk about sex hormones. Let's do that. Let me put my phone on this tripod here so I can talk to you guys. Thank you. Well, I don't know if she's pregnant yet. I gotta have a vet come out and see if she's actually pregnant. Oops. Okay. All right. Oh, we got a breeze here. Okay. Let's talk about some sex hormones since we're here. So a lot of you guys are trying to build muscle and you're just not able to build muscle. That's hilarious. I actually wouldn't mind to watch a little baby mule, half donkey, but they're both minis. So I don't even know what that little baby would look like. But I kind of hope she is pregnant, because then I'm going to snip his bullocks after that, and then we'd be done with it, okay? We don't need a bunch of little mules running around. But, so a lot of you guys are trying to build muscle, or a lot of women are going, a lot of people DM me and they're like, oh, talk about women and going through menopause. Men want to talk about how to raise their total testosterone. Men are asking me more and more about dihydrotestosterone, which is like when your estrogen levels are too high, then also DHT rises, and that's when a lot of men start to get soft and balding and all this kind of stuff. And then I get like a lot of women in my consultations who are not ovulating, and if you ain't ovulating, you ain't getting the gains. Yeah, your progesterone's probably hit the ground, and yeah, your estrone is just in the fat cells. And I want to talk about what lowers your sex hormones and how keto is so good, and carnivore, to raise your sex hormones. So basically, to make substrate of your reproductive system, you need, one of the main things that you need is cholesterol. A lot of people are afraid to eat cholesterol. They think, oh, I'm going to clog my heart. And I'm like, y'all, just don't believe this nonsense. We're made up of saturated fats and cholesterol. Our brain is made out of cholesterol. Our butts are made out of cholesterol. But our reproductive system is really made out of cholesterol. And I've watched a lot of people over the years try to do these low fat or low animal fat ketogenic diets, and the menstrual cycles go poof, and the testosterone goes poof, and my fur baby husband child's coming. Yes, my husband, the only husband I have, he's on his way. Watch this dude. You guys gotta watch this, and then I'll answer the. Oh no, he's not coming here. What a shocker. Okay. He's going, I don't know where he's going. Okay. So the problem is that, I'll talk about men. A lot of guys are eating non-organic vegetables. And, okay, now he's coming. See, guys eat non-organic vegetables. What's up, dude? Can I have a kiss? Kiss? Can we kiss? Kiss? No. Kiss? Kiss? Oh, thunder. Kiss. I know there's ants all over this property. Poor guy, his mouth has like sores all over it because red ants have just demolished his face. Kiss? And then he's got sunscreen on it. For all who don't know, this is my husband. Hi. We adopted a donkey in a little minute. Sorry, guys. Okay, so a lot of you guys are like, is it okay to do like milk or just organic milk, or can I do non-organic vegetables? Is coffee dropping testosterone? Oh yeah. coffee is definitely dropping testosterone because coffee affects your adrenal system. Can you get your big head out of the camera, please? Excuse me. Um, the testosterone is going to affect your adrenal system, and your adrenal system is directly connected to your ovaries and your gonads. And what people don't understand is that your adrenals are going to make reproductive hormones along with your lady bits and your man bits. Coffee gives me fake energy. Exactly. So you're having your adrenal system taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed. Then people are having stress. They're going through pregnenolone steal. Their body is robbing from DHEA. And then people are running towards like DIM and HRTs and all these pharmaceuticals. Sorry. Just trying to get the bugs off of him. All these pharmaceuticals. Want to say hello, Thunder? Hey, big boy. He's got a fly mask on because the flies just go straight towards his eye, and he had cancer of the eye. Have a kiss? Want to go to sleep? Give a kiss. Give me a kiss. That's a sleepy horse. Can I have a kiss? Come on, kiss. Kiss. No? Okay. Thunder in the background. When people are eating, they don't understand that like all the pesticides on food and the non-organic milk is, you're having all this estrogen being pumped into the female cow, or you have all of this glyphosate, which is designed to make the male insects sterile so they can't reproduce. And these non-organic vegetables and the milk are literally turning our men into, Thunder is skinny, he wants some Twinkies. Thunder is not skinny right now. All these aren't non-organic foods are turning men into women. They're having aromatizing problems. Thunder is pretty chunky right now, to be honest. Look at that. That is not a skinny horse. So Lulu's parents actually look like him. He's called a paint. So the ex-owner didn't understand why she turned out brown. Anyway. So a lot of you guys are like, is it okay to drink from plastic bottles? Not really. Perfumes, cleaning materials, soy, these vegans and their soy, they have an estrogenic effect. They're called xenoestrogens, and a lot of guys are exposed to xenoestrogens. Now, I'm sorry. A lot of guys are exposed to, dude, really? Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Who else is going to do a live with a horse in the camera? So a lot of you guys are doing that, and then a lot of you guys drink. You drink alcohol, you drink coffee, and coffee is going to affect... Thunder, we can't do this. How about we put it over here? How's that? Is that better? Huh? You want to be a camera? Because I can't even read you guys' comments. You guys have a big head in the way. Look at all those sores on his face. Those are red ants. I'm sorry, boo-boo. All the red ants are here. I know. We can't put the poison on the ground because you eat the grass. But a lot of guys are having their testosterone. So they say that 60% more men today have low testosterone because their estrogen is too high. And then people have poor functioning livers. And now estrogen just gets trapped in the liver and just keeps being recycled. It gets into the bloodstream and it keeps sending these signals inside the male body. Now this is also women, but it keeps sending these signals to, raise your dihydrotestosterone and lower your total testosterone. This is awful for men. I would take off this fly mask, but you would see all the flies attack his eyeballs. And that is a big problem today with men. So it's so funny when you're like watching the news, like people keep talking about, like, are you a man or are you a woman? And people are not considering all of the xenoestrogens that we are affected by, and also, the sword. People are starting to theorize that maybe these swords in the shoulder are having an aromatizing effect. Dude, your head is like the size of my entire body. He's itchy. His face is itchy because of all those bites. Oh, poor baby. Now with women, men cannot handle having too much estrogen in the body, recirculating estrogen. It is a nightmare. And if you're constipated on top of that, it just keeps getting recycled. You're supposed to poop out excess estrogen, especially if there's xenoestrogens. Yeah. Well, no, what Thunder is, somebody said Thunder demands attention. He's just really itchy right now, so, and he's got, if you want to know why he's so dark here, I sprayed silver spray on him, so, his neck is silver because he gets sunburned, so that's why he's got silver spray on him. Yeah, he wants some camera time. But, so a lot of women are having problems with too much estrogen. Now, our bodies can handle estrogen. Men, it's just cancer waiting to happen. So many guys are developing prostate issues and testicular cancer more than I've ever seen before. And people aren't factoring all the xenoestrogens that we're exposed to. And then men are starting to have fertility issues as much as women are. Seriously, it's a problem today. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that my girl might be pregnant, but when it comes to humans being exposed to so many xenoestrogens, and then they're always talking about, birth control pills ending up in the water. It's just a mess. Oh, Lulu might be pregnant. Lulu might be pregnant, so I might have a little mule on the way. Stephanie is coffee dropping testosterone. Yeah, so guys, people don't understand how caffeine is it just puts pressure on the adrenal system for hours. And none of these gurus who push coffee even talk about that. They just don't, because they're addicted to coffee themselves. They can't get out of bed. Why can't you get out of bed? Are you not in ketosis? You're doing your one meal a day, you're crashing. Back over here. What? So that's why they're saying, like, well, why are so many people having issues with being a dude? Or I'm trying to beat the algorithms with the words. Thunder, you sell yours. Dude, he's gonna definitely knock this camera over. No, you're not gonna scratch your body on this tripod. No, Thunder. No. No, you guys, you should see what he's doing. Dude, stop. Oh my God. No. No, Thunder. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. So when it comes to, like, people are like, should I do keto? Should I do carnivore? Will that help fertility issues? Is it going to help weight loss? Number one, carnivore is not for weight loss. So I don't know how that happened. And people are trying to use a carnivore diet for weight loss. All these people trying to use carnivore for weight loss, stop. Just don't do it for that reason. Do it if you have hypoglycemia, or if you have mast cell activation, or leaky gut, or like severe histamine issues. Do not do carnivore for any other reason. And as long as you should go, really, is 3 months, and 6 is the cutoff. No, 6 is too long. It's too long. So when you have people do a carnivore diet and they don't get enough fat in their body, then instantly their body's like, okay, well, I'm going to rely on all the protein that this person's consuming, and that just puts glucose in the blood. It's not going to really restore your muscle glycogen. And when you don't have enough muscle glycogen and you're not in ketosis, that's going to affect the adrenal system, and that's how men also drop their. And this is for women too. But so many men think that they're immune from having sex hormonal issues, and they totally have them. You know, it's just like so many guys. Like, I remember going to the gym, and I'm like, why am I more muscular than all these young guys? I never understood that years ago. How am I more muscular than them? And then, of course, now I understand very clearly why that is. You know, so these subjects of fertility are very important for people, and also the subjects of why people are having issues with like their thyroid or with getting fat. People don't understand that when you have fatty bits, you are having this estrogenic effect, because the fat cells are going to signal your body to store more fat and make lady bits, and men start to develop gynecomastia. Now, this is very, very common for men today to develop gynecomastia, which is like bitch, it's like lady tits on men, and they just are exposed to way too many xenoestrogens. Vegan and carnivore are both good for healing. Veganism is not good for healing. Who told you that? Is such nonsense. Oh, no, no, no. Veganism is probably one of the most dangerous diets. Thunder's falling asleep. He's got his head like right there. No, veganism is absolutely awful. And the reason why this is because all of the plants, except for things like asparagus, a few plants have not been genetically altered in some way, right? Plants have been, I'm sorry, boo-boo. Poor guy's got bites all over him. A lot of these plants have the glyphosate on them. They've been genetically altered. They've been selectively bred, crossbred, to have more fructose in them, to have more phytic acid in them, to have more anti-nutrients in them. And, you know, it's like people today are so toxic that, you know, some people who are eating cruciferous vegetables on keto have to be careful, because they can have a goitrogenic effect, especially if they're raw. So I think I want to do a video like, you know, like Dr. Barry says this and Dr. Berg says that. The BBs both say, like, one says eat 8-9 cups of vegetables, and the other one's like, no, do carnivore. That's the best way to heal your body. Well, which one has the truth behind it? Now, plants aren't always bad. They have their purpose. It just depends on how damaged you are. Steph, you were great. Greets from Deutschland. Why I forgot to turn my sound off. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see some of the comments here. Good for healing, but never meant for long. It's the standard American. No, so veganism is like bad, period. It's a high carb diet. So just right there, our bodies can only deal with 5. If you're eating 5 grams of carbohydrate, right? Then your body's got to match that with insulin. But people who are eating like beans and tons of rice and sugars, now they're having their glucose shoot way higher than you would in nature, because all these fruits have been genetically altered in some way to have more fructose, because a sweet fruit in nature is not going to survive very long because insects are going to obliterate it. So for example, banana is going to be unedible. It's unedible. Like a real banana is like, it's so starchy, it's unedible. It's starchy. But when you start raising the fructose and shrinking the seeds, now bugs are going to tear that sucker up. My baby wants all my attention. He loves me, this horse. He could stand next to me all day. Not even a problem. So he's got his neck over the tripod. Am I coming in clear, you guys? Because I don't know if my phone's connecting to the towers or not. So will sport help with insulin resistance? Yes. So here's what's really great. That's a great question, by the way. People don't understand that when you build muscle, clear, awesome. When you build muscle, you develop more receptor sites, right? More insulin receptor sites. Good guy, baby. People. Ew. I love you, Mihalis, but nee. Faktiskt aldrig ska jag knulla honom. I shouldn't say that word. No. Not the Greek guys, baby. Come on, you guys. No, I have higher standards. I'll never be with a guy who doesn't take care of his body. Just forget that. That's a hell no, never. Image is good. I've been on keto for 15 months, but I started gaining weight in the last month. Any ideas? Yeah, you're not in ketosis. Your blood sugar's too high. So that's the question that the person had before about will sport help with insulin resistance. So here's the problem, you guys who are not keto adapting and you don't have enough GLUT4 receptor sites. Excuse me. You need these receptors they actually pop out of your muscle when you work out, and they will uptake that glucose and use it. Now, a lot of people who don't have good muscle development, that excess glucose goes right to the fat cells. It just does. It just goes right down there and all over the place. And then when you start to develop inefficient fat cells, now your body can start making estrone. Now the estrogen within the cells can start signaling for your body to make more fat. It's like this crazy Ferris wheel, negative loop, feedback loop. What's your opinion on honey? Lately, a lot of keto carnivores are doing. First of all, anybody who does keto, who tries to achieve ketosis and who eats honey, you will never be in ketosis. So people who eat honey are having issues with their electrolytes. They might say, oh, I've got glycogen depletion. No. Well, they do have glycogen depletion, but honey is not going to. It is too fast. It is broken down too quickly. It raises your blood sugar too fast. And it is not a good sustainable energy source of food. Now, you will be able to, with honey, get your electrolytes reestablished if you have a hard time holding on to electrolytes. But for energy, it'll zing you up and crash you, which will make hypoglycemia worse, which most of you have if you're using honey for that. Carnivore people who do honey, that's also stupid. So, they're like, oh, well, technically it's from a bee. So, no. If you're going to do carnivore or if you're going to do keto, even Sean Baker switched over to the fat because he saw Stephanie eating the fat. Well, he saw a lot of other people being the fat, but I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I'm still pushing it. You need fat, right? Your body needs to be able to take the dietary fat and convert it into ketone bodies to be used. So it does spike insulin. And people who are using honey, I feel sorry for them. They're like desperate. They're just not doing the work that you need to actually adapt. People are so afraid of fat. After all these years of me being online, people are still afraid of fat. I don't understand. Your cell lining is made out of fat. Your lung lining is made out of fat. Your brain is made out of fat. Your sex hormones are made out of fat. Your bits are made out of fat. Good, you're eating sardines while listening to me. That's freaking awesome. Some potassium in that. Okay, Stephanie, do you know what causes... I don't even know what this syndrome is. That's Lulu. She's hungry. Lulu! You guys want to see Lulu? Lulu's pregnant. I think she's pregnant. I'm not 100% sure. That's Lulu. That's the crying donkey. She's braying. That's what they call it, braying. I think that Lulu might be pregnant from our little horn dog. Luca! Luca! Luca, you see that little shit over there? That little horn dog? Stallion is probably a stud now. He has been trying to stick it in her a lot lately. And there's nothing I could do about it because you can't snip the balls off until they drop because he's still pretty young. They dropped. I kept looking, nope, no balls yet, no balls yet, no balls yet, now balls. Balls means prego donkey. Now she's considered a mini, but she's a big mini. So hopefully if she is pregnant, which I hope she is, I'll have like a little mini mule. It'll be really cute. That's polka dotted. Let me get back over here, guys, so I can answer your questions. Let's see. Right? Hidden flower. All the estrogens are in the animal fats. Frank Tufano has a ton of videos showing that. Okay. Let's deconstruct that very... Sorry for the wind too. I'll speak closer to the camera. First of all, not all of the estrogens are in the animal fat. Estrogens are in the animal fat, but not all of the estrogenic effect comes from animal fat. That's a bunch of nonsense, okay? These are hormone-injected animals, especially the ones that produce milk. So, context, my people. Frank Tufano, like, I need to go watch Frank Tufano. Frank Tufano was probably like 15 when I started doing this stuff. Legit. Come on now. When I started being online, he was like a little teenager. Please. I don't need to learn from Frank Tufano. Does grass green out there in Tennessee? Yeah. We're having an Indian summer here in Texas. You guys know I'm about to move to Tennessee. I'm going through the closing process. I just am purchasing land. I already sent my good faith checks. I'm also say I purchased the land. And I'm waiting for the whole deal to go through, the last paperwork, and then all of us will be, including this home, will be transported to, you can see that's my home, to Tennessee. Okay, so was it gallbladder? I think, is my doctor said it's just stress. I've never even heard of this syndrome, and I don't know if you're messing with me, because there's a ussy in that word. Well, the only vegan that I'll ever accept in my life as a husband is Thunder. He's a strict vegan. It's so funny. I tried to feed him pork rinds. He was like, yeah, so for women who are dealing with premenopause or that their periods stop, people got to understand, like this whole calcium thing with women, your adrenal system, your adrenals can still put out all of these hormones, so you can still absorb your calcium into your bones without having to deal with this gnarly osteoporosis. If you freaking take care of your adrenals, and all these people are pumping coffee, I don't get it. See, this is my ranch water bottle, so don't trip on how gross it looks. So a lot of you guys have been drinking coffee for years. You don't sleep well. Every time I do a consultation, women are staying up too late, and they're having these extreme issues with their fertility, right? They don't eat enough fat, women. You're exposed to too many xenoestrogens like the men. I had a woman today, I had a consultation today with a woman who had lipidemia. And I was talking about it with her. She's like, wow, I'm surprised you know. So there's lipidemia and there's lymphedema. Lipedema and lymphedema. Getting the word two smashed together. Now the lipedema, that is when you just get gnarly fat in your lower half. Like you're just big gadunka hips and big booty and just big, thick, sausagey legs. And now some women are just estrogen dominant and have all their body fat go down there, and some have actually lipidemia, and that's quite painful. The fat is like little hard knots inside the fat, and it's an awful syndrome to go through. And I was trying to talk to this woman. I'm like, look, you better go and do a biliary duct cleanse and try to get all this excess estrogen out of your body because it's signaling things. She also did a lot of fasting. She fasted. She did the HCG diet a long time ago. She did a lot of intermittent fasting, and she has created lipidemia. And like, people don't understand, like, when you get older, if you don't take care, like, weird shit starts to happen. Like, my mom started to develop lymphedema, and she has a hard time with her lymphatic system to drain extra water out. She went a long time without eating any salt because my knucklehead brother told her salt's bad for you, which started creating a problem. So when you don't eat enough salt, your body starts to hold on to salt in the most desperate of ways. And her electrolytes were just damaged. So now I'm trying to fix her from these issues. How often do you eat a day? I eat all the time. Like, I'm grazing on food, but the food that I graze on would be different to other people. Like, I'll make a bunch of egg yolks and they flatten out like little flat pancakes, like cheddar cheese pancakes, and I'll just throw them in my mouth. I'll put them in little Tupperware when I go into town and just throw them. Lulu might be pregnant. That's who's pregnant. Could you imagine me having a child these days in this crazy ass world? Oh, hell no. They try to take your baby away and shove like a bunch of swords all over your kid. No, frack, no. Hold on, guys. Salt is super important. So much missing for, oh my God, Van Lee. People are so afraid of salt. They're like, oh my God, it's bad for your arteries and it's like, it makes you swell up. I'm like, no, not eating salt makes you swell up because your body holds on to salt. Hot thunder. What do you recommend for supplement protocol if you have, oh, Amy Wu. You know, people ask me questions about, you can take the quercetin. That's one thing you could do. Quercetin is quite good. He's back, guys. God, I just want to wash that silver spray. I think I might wash him. It's just all over his mouth, that silver spray. How boo-boo. I see people coming to my channel like, what the frack is in the frame? But, okay, you guys, how can I, like, code word all this stuff? Thunder. I will not say that anybody has Slovid. I'm starting to believe that there is no such a thing. And when I say this, people who pop in, they get so mad when I say this. I'm like, y'all need to just relax. No, I'm starting to believe there is no such a thing. Now, I do a ton of research. Now, if I can openly talk about it, I would. And you guys would go, oh, like, I do this in my consultations. I'll start explaining it. And this one woman, she's like, I thought you were crazy. I was like, oh my God, she's so crazy. And then when I explained it to her in the consult, she's like, but I'm going to go to her because she's really good with all the endocrine system and the hormones and the, you know, the PCOS and the thyroid and, you know, just all the health issues that people develop, the electrolyte issues. So I'll just book a consultation with her anyway, even though I think she's a little nuts. And then when I actually spoke to her, she's like, oh my God, she's like, game changer. She said, holy shite, I had no idea. And I said, yeah, there's some stuff going on. They got people believing in everything. But I can't talk about it here, so I seem like a complete nutbag. There's a lot of info out there being They're about it being something else. Yes, press play. They're starting to be. Now I believe it's something else. I believe that all these things that people are feeling and sensing are something else. But when people tell you it, it's like, for example, see, Thunder has all that silver spray on his mouth and sunscreen. He's just sticky and gross right now. But a lot of people have their gallbladder removed, and or people say like, oh, I hear this all the time. Oh, there's nothing wrong with my thyroid. I did a thyroid test, and my TSH came back fine. Or they'll just say that their thyroid came out fine. I'll say, well, what type of thyroid testing did you do? And they're like, I don't know. How do you know it's fine? You don't even know the test. Today in the consultation, this woman had like so many supplements. I'm like, do you even know what these supplements are? She's like, no. I was like, girlfriend, no. I was like, throw all this crap away. She's like, but the naturopath said. I'm like, no. Y'all need to do some more research. Just because somebody said something, including myself, doesn't mean it's fact. You guys got to take information and then go do your own research. But if you just take anything that people say, you could hurt yourself. Like when doctors say like, oh, we've got to remove your gallbladder. I mean, you have pain? Let's remove it. Because guess what they make? They make money removing your gallbladder. They're always going to, a surgeon's always going to push, most surgeons are going to push a surgical procedure over something else. Like, oh, you have endometriosis? You have fibroids? Well, let's just go and remove your your uterus. Especially if you're older, they'll say that. When do I have the ants? Well, you have to contextualize that question. Besides, the testing for ants is such garbage, and when they use ant testing, that's why when people do like thyroid testing and they want to test for TPO antibodies, I'm like, so I can say it in the regards to TPO, you have to do 6 weeks apart full panels. Let's see here. Linnea says, I really believe there was no such thing as well. No, I never believed it. In the first 10 days, I did a video about like, you know, like they would be like, oh, do this underwater, you know, and then take this really chemical soap or cleaner and then put your hands with it. And I did a video saying, oh, no, don't do that. Just use lemon water. I mean, we want to keep our hands slightly acidic because that kills nastiness, right? I'm trying to use all non scientific words. And I was like, just use that. Don't use that chemical. That's going to strip your hands of something and really make you susceptible for Charade bona. But then they took the video down. I was like, after 10 days and they took the video down, I was like, oh, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I will not believe any of this stuff until you prove it. But they won't let you. They won't let you talk about it. They say, oh, we can't get it from this, the human this, because like it just falls apart. You can't find it, you know, it just disappears in thin air. Like just the dumbest explanations. But most people do not do their research on anything. If they go and they've got fibroids, they allow doctors to remove their uterus. If they have a gallbladder pain, they'll remove the gallbladder. If they have a cold, they'll take an antibiotic. Like, y'all need to just say, wait a minute, let me think about this first before I just believe you, including myself. Simply Me, Mar agrees with me. Let me see. They are finding in blood. Could be for anything. Exactly. For the blood ants. The ants and the bodies could be for anything. Many people are sick with Slovid and never test. First of all, the testing is just nonsense. I call it the pregnancy test. It is one of the most inaccurate tests that exists, and that's what people go by. So I always say that lightning does not strike 15,000 times in the same spot. And it feels like every week you turn on the square box or the square thing in your hand or the square thing on your desk. Every friggin' week there's something absolutely like I mean, can't you guys spread it out a little bit so we're like tricked a little bit better? Like, do you have to have something happen every freaking other day? Right? Why do you think I'm such in a hurry to get my land? Why do you think I'm such in a hurry to set things up? I'm in a hurry, yo. Pretty soon you guys won't even be able to afford a grape, like one grape. And nobody talks about it. Like, ain't nobody, and I'll bring it up and people don't talk about it. I'm like, y'all need to be healthy. Y'all need to do your own research. And y'all need to be careful for your finances. Like, I have no debt. I, as a little girl, would never, I hated to spend money. I spend money, but I spend it on only what I can afford. That's the only thing I'll spend money on. So my mother's like, if you have a baby, another baby, are you going to afford another mouth? I'm like, yes, honey, I'm moving to Tennessee. There's green grass all day, unless they try to mess with the weather. There is green grass for days. In fact, this place is so dry right now. If I flip the camera around, it's so dry, there ain't nothing to eat. That's not green enough grass, okay? It's just dry as frack. So I'm burning through feed for the horses and hay. I have to buy it because there's just not enough grass. But in Tennessee, and that's the reason why, you guys, besides my mom living there, that was one of the major reasons why I decided to go to Tennessee and not North Arizona and something like that, because I love the landscape of Northern Arizona. The reason why I didn't end up there, I was like, we need shallow water table. We need to be able to have water. We need to be able to have grass. And if I've got that, and I've got like a fresh creek water on my property, we're good to go. What about raw cheese? So raw cheese, Linnea says right on. Raw cheese has casein in it. It has a lot of casein. It's a milk protein. And, you know, there is something to this thing, like, what human is this? Texas? Right now I'm still in Texas. I'm closing on a property, and then when it's all done, I actually have to drive there to this property and set up a fence and set up the water and set up the electricity before I can even move there. So I've got 2 cars now. Actually I have 3, but whatever. I have a truck and I have another car. So I gotta drive my car, my town car. You are the only 10 I see stuff. Oh, thank you, Van. So raw cheese, back to that question, has a lot of this milk protein in it. Now there's this idea like, oh, who decided to go stand under an animal and suckle on its milk? Who is an idiot? Now, for the most, that's not true. But there's a little bit of truth to it, because those proteins, right, they have growth factors in it, IGF-1, and for some people who've got weak gut walls, or maybe we've got a gene mutation, a single or double gene mutation of the mother sucker gene, the MTHFR, sometimes these people have a difficulty with the casein in particular. It tends to damage the microvilli on the small intestinal wall, thus creating a complete digestive bomb of a problem. And when I first started teaching keto online and on YouTube, I was having people use glucometers, and when they would eat cheese, their blood sugar would spike. I was like, wow, that's so fascinating. And when they would cut out the cheese, the blood sugar would drop. And then I was like, cut it out, you know, and their ketones would spike without cheese. So I'm just like, just cut out the cheese. And when people started cutting out the cheese is when people started to keto adapt. Like if everything else was going great, but there's just like one reason why they're not. And I was like, well, let's try cutting out, the cheese, and instantly people start doing a lot better without cheese. That's why. And butter barely has any of these milk proteins left in it. It's mostly fat. Tennessee today, lots of rain now. The sun is shining beautiful. Yeah, that's why I'm going to Tennessee. And I mean, today it's overcast. Like, you just in Texas in the summer, South Texas, you're so grateful when the wind blows and it's overcast. You're just like, thank you, Jesus, because it's so hot. it's like every day is not going under 100. It's like 99 to 100 to 105 every freaking day, with humidity that's just grody to maxi pad. See here, if you do your own extensive research, doctors feel threatened. Facts. I've gone head to head with my provider multiple times. Unless you severely are obese, sick, or dying, good luck with healthcare. Facts. I remember, listen, this story is so funny. I remember that I started to develop kidney pain. Didn't know why. Freaking me out years ago. So I booked an appointment with a urologist. And I was like, he did every test. And his conclusion was this, people. This is how embarrassing the medical industry is. His conclusion for my kidney pain was exercising the wrong way. And I sat there in his office like, is there a camera? Is this a joke? Or are we on candid camera? Because, like, is he serious? I was like, dude. Well, I learned very quickly after that this was from oxalates. I actually had oxalate crystals in my kidneys, which he did not cater to them. Well, because he was leaving out one important point. If your electrolytes are not balanced and you don't drink enough agua, and you have kidney crystals, and you eat spinach, you're gonna have kidney pain. So when I got rid of the spinach and the oxalate anything, the kale, the spinach, the chocolate, when I got rid of it, and the stevia, and I started drinking more water and balancing my electrolyte minerals, kidney pain gone like that, like in a day. So yes, unfortunately, they are not gods. And they'll do anything for a friggin' penny. I swear. I wouldn't even say $1. I think they're so thirsty they would be sucking on a penny. You've been having kidney pain? What are your electrolytes? It's most likely your electrolytes. Got too lean on plant-based, even though I ate the whole day high carb. You know why, Jose, Mama, or Josie? Sorry, not Jose. It's because your body didn't get the amino acids that it needs. These are proteins, so it started going into gluconeogenesis, just gobbling up its own protein. That's why people get extra deflated and thin on a vegan diet, which somebody said that they both are good in the beginning. I was like, vegan diet is never good. If you have leaky gut, or if you've got goitrogenic issues for you got thyroid issues, and you sitting there eating all them plants, good luck, honey. It's like assaulting your body from every orifice. Let me see here. I thought excess protein can cause kidney pain. It does. You could have, but I don't know. Annie did not say if she was eating a lot of protein. She didn't say if she was eating spinach. She didn't say if she was balancing her electrolytes. She didn't say anything. She just said she had a lot of kidney pain since Slovenia. Yeah, electrolytes. Yes, or yeah, electrolytes not good since I've been sick. There you go. There you go. There's the answer. That's why her kidneys are bothering her. I mean, she might be eating too much protein on top of that. How many egg yolks or whole eggs do you recommend to increase testosterone if you can tolerate them? Well, it's not the whole egg. It is definitely not the white. It is the yolk. It is the cholesterol in the yolk that helps with testosterone production. Plus liver, because you get nice ample levels of zinc. Um, I'd be careful on whole eggs. Some people are doing like, 8 a day. If you don't have an egg allergy, which a lot of people do, they're just not aware of it, I wouldn't go over like probably 4 eggs a day, whole eggs. But if you don't have any sensitivity, because there's a little bit of protein left in the yolk as well, you could eat 10 yolks a day. Do you ever get bored with the foods? No. Because when there ain't enough food because there's a shortage, you're going to be happy and grateful for any food that lands up on your plate. Real food, that is. No, I don't get bored with food. I think in the beginning I had periods where, in my first videos you might see me make like ice cream and pizza and pancakes, but now I just want quality fats, quality food, and organic vegetables, truly organic. Oh yeah, I have a interview at 7. I gotta make sure the time. Let me check the time, people. Okay, no, I'm good. I got a couple hours. 17 years chronic health issues. Western medicine is an absolute joke, especially in Texas. Tort laws, lackadaisicalness or something. At its finest here in San Antonio. So I'm near San Antonio, by the way. And I think a lot of industries have gone to the shitter. Just is. If you have money, you can afford certain specialists. But even today, when I had the consultation, the woman, she was going to go to, what kind of specialist was she going to go to? What was that yesterday? I had a woman saying she was going to go to specialists to figure out what the heck was it. Wait, let me think. Oh, this specialist was... Oh, parasites! That's what she's going to go to, parasite expert, right? So this doctor is a parasite expert, and she's going to fly there. So I go, and I do my little research, and I'm like, dude looks so unhealthy, it's insane. He had bags under his eyes, like puffy. He was swollen jowls. He had a belly on him. And then I noticed some of the YouTube interviews had gone back 10 years. I was like, dude got a pooch. How is he going to help you? Because she was thinking that parasites were making her fat and parasites were making her feel bad. And she just created all like these critters like running around inside of her body because she had tested positive for some type of parasite. And she was just equating every health problem to a parasite, but yet she wasn't living a healthy life. And I'm like, this may not just be parasitical. And I was like, be careful. I'm like, did this guy do any type of urine or stool testing before you're going to fly and spend God knows how much money to see this expert? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to go there. And here's another thing, you guys, a lot of people with parasites or any type of SIBO, they put these people on freaking antibiotics. And that's his protocol. And I said, don't do antibiotics. No, you got to do this protocol. I go, every client that I've ever had who's done the antibiotics for a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth and also a parasitical infestation have gotten worse. Every one of them. So be very careful. Parasites are everywhere. If you have an itchy butt, it's probably not a parasite. It's probably candida. I mean, that is considered a parasite, but it's not like a critter. I mean, it's an itchy butt on carnivore. That's not a parasite. That's fungus in the booty hole. A lot of people have an itchy bung hole. A lot. They have a dysbiotic gut. They have a bacterial imbalance. They're doing carnivore. It doesn't get better because they don't get any prebiotic fiber on carnivore. Oh, it's a mess. Even if you did kefir and you had no no fiber, you're gonna have a difficulty populating that gut the proper way on carnivore. I can't tolerate fruits. You might have developed a histamine reaction to the fructose, and most vegetables, unless they are nightshades. You mean you can only eat nightshades? That's pretty weird. Is that facts? You can't have lettuce? Just wondering. Went away with high fiber diet. It wasn't a parasite. It was probably candida. Although fiber is coming from plants, so I don't know. Some frick nut urgent care doctor prescribed just in case antibiotics for 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, when I lost my voice, she didn't know why. All sorts of hell no, or heck no. So I'll read that again. Some frick nut urgent care doctor prescribed just in case antibiotics 2 weeks ago when I lost my voice. Just because this person, Jamie, lost her voice. I think it's, yeah, Jamie lost her voice and she didn't know why. The mechanic was helping me with my truck, his son, who's a grown man, he had like a sore throat. So of course the doctors threw at him a Z-Pack, steroids. I said, dude, I said, look, you don't eat well. You don't drink enough water. You do not get rest. I'm like, those things, I go, trust me, if you have strep or if you've got any type of tonsillitis, it's just going to keep flaring up and coming back. Those pharmaceuticals are not going to fix the problem. And he just looked at me like I had a head here, a head here, and a head here. And I was like, all right, but not a head there, just a head here, here, and here. That's crazy. Talvish, I'm doing great, thank you. No, I had a fly just go up my nose, so maybe not great. That's why I think she's pregnant. She's been more hungry now than ever before. What's up, dude? Boo-boo? Hey, Bubs? You want to come here and say goodbye to everybody? Huh, baby? My sweet, amazing, handsome husband. You want people to see your pretty eyes? Watch the flies attack his freaking face. Hi, boo-boo. Look. Oh, you can make me dirty. Don't make me dirty. Too late. Look at that eye. And then on the other side, he's another horse. He's pink because he's rubbing. You tired? Have a kiss? That is the weakest kiss. Give mom a kiss. Give mom a kiss. Aww. What? That's my husband. I don't want to touch him because he's got sunscreen all over him. My baby. He's my baby. I love you. Oh, no, don't rub on me. You hungry, you guys? Lulu. There she is. So, to end this little flucker right here, this little one-eyed pony who was a rescue, this dude, most likely, who's polka dotted, probably impregnated my little Lulu because she looking a little thick around the belly. You guys hungry? Look at this freaking horse. He bites on everything. Hi, Lulu. Girl. Well, it's time for me to feed these little animals. There is my home. I'm moving. I love that I bought that, you guys. I highly recommend it to everybody. Look at that juicy booty. Oh my goodness. People are like, oh, don't stand in the back of a horse. Mwah. I'm standing in the back of my horse. He's like, get away from me. All right, guys. Thank you for joining today's live. I thought I would just, talk about fertility, talk about sex hormones, and also talk about my animals, give a little life update, and just say hello to you guys. Got some energy. 54, going on 55. Can you believe that? I can go back to my old videos. I'm like, oh, I'm 40 something, and now I'm 50 something. Those flies get to you, Silverman. I think I need to go wash him. He's just got silver and sunscreen all over him. It's just gross. All right, guys. Thank you for today. Hi, Steph. Thank you for all that information. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Angel Sanchez. Look at him. He's pissing like a racehorse. That's where they get that. Drink some water. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, that's my boo. That's my boo-boo. When I first thought about getting a horse, I was like, I want a black beauty stallion, Arabian. I wanted this black horse. But I got stuck with this polka dotted thing. Ever meet in your life. He is just such a sweetheart. You should see this one. These horses are not with Thunder. Come on, come. He always has to be right by me. Stop rubbing on with that big head. So Thunder's gonna get annoyed that this one's coming up. Come here. Come. And he'll pin his ears back. See, his ears are starting to go back. Look at that. And that's gonna try to bite him. It's a fake bite. See, his ears are going back. He's getting annoyed. He's like, she's mine. Those ears mean she's mine. These ears mean I'm curious. How the hell did I go from Hollywood to Texas with horses? I remember riding my bike around Hollywood. My life is just completely flipped. Huh. You're no Thunder, though. Horses really don't like their heads to be touched. Everybody wants to touch their head. They don't really like it. Thunder, stop that. Okay, guys. Time for me to go. Thank you for joining today's live stream. What's up? And I'm out. Energy. If you guys have any topics you guys want me to talk about, I'm trying to go live more often. Do you know what I mean? Today was just an impromptu because I was sitting there like, I think Lulu's pregnant. I just wanted to talk about it. Jesus took me out of Hollywood. Ron, you cracked me up. What would you do without Jesus? Ron, I don't know how your life would be without Jesus. Alright, guys. Wait, see, I don't mean to bash doctors because they're the ones to save. They're great for emergency medicine. They're amazing for that. Amazing. You're not bashing doctors. The truth is not bashing. The truth is the truth. That's just the way it is. And I'm out. Energy. Thanks, everyone, for joining today's, I think she's prego. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. You can book a consultation through my site at stephanieperson.com. And I'm out. I just wanted to have a fun little talking to my people today and letting them know about other things than keto. But I did talk about fertility. All right, guys. Bye. I'm out. I got the phone on Thunder. And I'm out. Peace.